everybody wants a Star Wars what if. And we kind of got it with Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everyone, welcome back to a movie review-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And we are back with a YouTube exclusive.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this, it's because you have found us on YouTube or you're a true fan and you've heard about that we're doing this YouTube exclusive. But yes, we're doing a movie review. Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, which was kind of marketed a little bit as what if Zack Snyder made a Star Wars movie or if he created Star Wars. So yeah, I was like, if that's what this is all about, then I was like, man, we should do a review of this. I got hyped about it. The trailer that came a couple months ago was super hyped. What about you? Were you excited to see
I was
this
pumped
movie?
for it. Even like the poster looks sweet.
Right.
And like Nate's friend, like he lives with him and he got like the movie poster framed and like they went to like Nate is my brother. They went to like a private showing
Oh really?
of it. Like it came out like on Tuesday for them, so they got to see it like earlier than like Thursday that everyone else. And they were giving out posters there and stuff. And so like I was pretty pumped for it. I like was trying to figure out if I could watch it in theaters or couldn't or whatever, but
Yeah, there's select theaters around the country that
have it.
had it. I don't know if they still have it or if it was just for like
I think it was just for the release weekend
or whatever. But
yeah, I was really pumped for it.
Me too. I was really pumped for it because like it was like announced that he was doing this like a couple years ago, a few years ago. I was like, oh, interesting. And like I know Zack Snyder gets mixed reviews, but like he has some good movies in the DC that I like. Like I think it was Man of Steel and Wonder Woman, which are both very, very good. I know you never watch DC stuff, blah blah blah, because you're such a hater. You're not willing to watch the good stuff.
After this movie,
spoilers. Don't jump ahead too fast. So yeah, I was like, okay, he has some good stuff out there that I really like. So I was like,
I like 300.
Oh, he did 300. I don't even know all the movies that he's.
I think 300, and I don't know if he made the part 2 of 300. Well, but I loved 300 when it first came out.
So let's see. Here's the movies that he's done: Dawn of the Dead, which I haven't seen.
I haven't seen that.
300, haven't seen it. Watchmen, really haven't seen it.
Watchmen, I've seen that. Really good.
Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole, which is an animated, like a very like, I don't know, not photorealistic because it was 2010, but a very, not like a cartoony animated one. Sucker Punch.
I've heard of it.
Man of Steel, which I love. 300 Rise of the Empire, which I haven't seen.
That's the other 300 movie?
Yeah. Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, terrible movie.
Horrible movie.
Wonder Woman, very good. And then Justice League / Zack Snyder's Justice League, which Zack Snyder's Justice League was very good compared to like
the Are you saying that because you saw the first version?
Yeah.
Because I never watched the first version. I only watched his cut, and I hated it.
Yeah, but you went in there. wanting to hate it. That's the problem.
Oh, maybe there's some a little bias there, but I think a lot of people that liked it hated the first one so much, so they're a little.
Because the second one has obviously it's
It
2
explains
hours
everything,
longer,
and
so
it
you get
actually
way
explains
more
everything.
story. But and they changed the ending. Like the ending's
Yeah,
completely different,
it's like a
and
different
it's way
movie
better
altogether.
anyway. But I liked it a lot. I thought it was cool. But anyway, Wonder Woman 1984, which
Everyone says it's horrible.
no, I don't think it was horrible. It was just
Didn't you hate it? I thought you didn't like it.
it wasn't as good as the first one at all. But like Pedro Pascal is the villain in that movie, and he's really good. Like,
Well, it's
but then they have like this other side villain chick. I forget her name, the actress, which Kristen Wiig. She's like an evil, like bad lady.
oh, like the bad witch
She's the
lady or
cheetah
whatever.
or whatever. Like, and
Yeah,
it's just weird having her. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, Army of the Dead, Army of Thieves. Which Army of the Thieves was that other Netflix one, right?
I don't know. I've never even
I
heard
think
of it.
that was, or was it the Army of the Dead? Um, so what I don't know. I think one of them is like zombie apocalypse world, blah blah blah. But they want to like rob this bank or something or
Like
vault
a
or whatever.
zombie heist.
It's like they're fighting against zombies, try to get to us or something like that. I don't know, which was kind of it was okay, whatever. And then Rebel Moon, and then Rebel Moon Part Two as well, which should be coming out in a few months.
Which
But
I'll still I'm gonna watch Rebel Moon
yeah,
Part
so
2.
they have released a
The
trailer
trailer. Yes.
for. Did you watch that?
Because when you finish it now on Netflix, it goes directly to the trailer for
Oh,
part
it
2.
does. Okay.
So I
Oh,
watched it right away.
okay. Because I didn't. I didn't. I watched it. What day did I watch that?
When it released, probably
No, I didn't watch it a different
Thursday.
day because I was way busy at work and stuff. But I watched it on must have been Christmas Eve, I think. Yeah, I think it was Christmas Eve that I watched it. No, I watched it Christmas Day actually. Christmas Day.
Ooh.
Um, but yeah, so I was hyped. I was excited, and we might as well go into our
You want to
overall.
go first? Or you want me to go first?
Whatever you want. If you want to go first, go ahead. If you want me to go, I'll go. I don't care.
You go first.
I thought it was kind of terrible. Like
Explain.
it was all over the place. Like like visually, like it starts out really cool. Like that girl, what's her name, Cora? She's like farming on that thing, and then got like the big like Jupiter looking planet out there. And I'm like, hey, this is kind of cool. Like it's very like going to be visually stunning. But then like the I don't know, like the aesthetics change so many times throughout the movie. Like because like the mother world people come and like they look like Nazis.
Straight up Nazis.
Okay, fine, like whatever. Like we know that Star Wars is kind of loosely off World War II, and like the Empire
Mhm.
is like Nazis. Like okay, so they're gonna like be more into that. Okay, fine. But then like the farm village itself has its own aesthetic that just kind of looks like a 1800s village like town.
It kind of felt like World War II farming, though. Like
But then
European
like when
farming.
they're in their Katina scene, that was like a Western bar looked like.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so you got Nazis, you have like a farm
It.
village, then you have like a Western
Mhm.
cantina bar, and then like you go to all these other places, and they're all like, I understand in Star Wars, every planet's different, it has its own culture and aesthetic, but there's still like something Star Wars about it. Like there's always like that common thread, like it always fits. But like here, it's like everything was different, like wherever they went, and visually, it just didn't feel consistent to me. But like the visuals are still cool most of the time.
Mhm.
But then there were times where like the one time that I thought the CGI was terrible was during that when that one guy is like flying on that giant bird thing, like and it had like those like spikes going over the canyon. Those spikes look fake, dude. Like those are like didn't look real
Well,
at all.
the bird looked fake.
Well, the bird looked decent, but like those
It was weird because it's like it's an interesting concept for a story because it kind of feels like you're watching like a bunch of different sci-fi slash like I
it
don't
felt
know
like every space opera put to Star Trek, Star Wars, other
Lord
like
of the Rings. Like that one town felt like Lord of the Rings. Like there was like Lord of the Rings feel to it. There was like, and then that eagle bird thing,
yeah,
panther, whatever.
whatever.
That felt like you were watching Harry Potter for a little bit.
Right,
Like it had like a feel of everything, and it just felt weird.
right. And
Um,
so yeah, so just like visually, like it was okay. And I gotta ask you this: I don't know if it was my TV or if it's how it would look, but were there times when like the center was in focus, but then everything around it was kind of blurry?
yeah, but I was thinking that's Netflix because I don't know about you, but for some reason lately, and I don't know if it's my new TV and it's not acclimated because I got a new TV. Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah, Stephanie won a TV from our dentist's office.
What? What kind?
Yeah,
How big of a TV?
a 55-inch. So we're 5 inches bigger than our last TV.
50? What brand?
It's a Samsung OLED. I think I told you. It's like
You didn't tell me any of this.
the year after yours. So yours is a year newer than ours.
Okay.
So it's like the OLED 4K. So I don't know if it's like my TV is not acclimated properly.
Dude, it's hard to get TVs set. Dude, I'm still like. The
And I'm
thing
using
is,
a Roku too, so like it's separate than the TV app. So I don't know if that's different. But
it probably doesn't help.
yeah. But Disney Plus is perfect every time. 4K, beautiful, awesome. But for some reason Netflix is always kind of grainy. And I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know if
So
it's internet or
I noticed this with my TV that different streaming services need to have different settings,
see that's frustrating.
which is I don't know, it's kind of weird because I don't know, it's just weird. And sometimes I think some TVs, like when you change it change the settings for that specific streaming service, like it saves for that thing.
Oh.
And then so I don't know, some every TV is different,
And
but
like I said, like I don't know if it's because like it's a Roku Netflix, not my TV. I don't know.
I don't know because like I haven't had this is
I'm
the first time
tempted
I've
to
had
try it
Netflix.
on my TV now.
Cause yeah, right. Cause like this is the first time I've had Netflix in like over a year, so like I couldn't tell. But like I was like looking at other stuff on Netflix just to kind of like make sure my settings were
Hmm.
good or whatever, and it seemed like everything else looked fine. But this one, it seemed like the center was always super in focus, and then
Oh, okay.
very easily, like or very quickly, the further away you got from the center, it got a
Mhm.
little bit blurry.
Well, there was times for me though that like the background looked really like good in like a certain part to the point where it looked fake. Like it looked like there was a green screen. And then like cuz like the edges didn't feel the same. So I don't know, maybe it is the way it was shot.
Maybe
It didn't feel like it was blurry, but then it didn't feel like crisp throughout the whole shot.
right.
But I don't know.
So it's
Maybe I
just
should try to watch on my phone and see if
right.
it looks different.
Right. I should probably look. I should like on my laptop to see what it looks like. But it was just weird. Like it was distracting. Like how those set for me the center was always super focused, or wherever it was looking at on the screen was super
Hmm.
focused, and everything else just seemed kind of blurry and distorted. And it wasn't like that all the time either. Like sometimes like the whole screen was
Hmm.
like looking good, but I don't know. It was just visually, it was just all over the place, and it
To
was
me, it
like
just felt like a Zack Snyder film.
it was just
Super confusing. Story too fast paced. Characters weren't developed at all.
right. Yeah, so now we can get into like the story
Yeah. I
and
haven't even
stuff.
told you how I felt about it yet.
Oh yeah, what are your overall thoughts? Since I gave my overall thoughts, but we kind of just went on a tangent.
This
But
is probably a hot take, and I don't know. Maybe Jeremiah's gonna chat. There's no chat right now because we're not live. But you guys need to comment if this is a hot take or not, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. This made me love episode 8. Just gonna
Dang, bro. Well,
this is probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
really?
It's definitely up there.
Yeah.
For me, the story, like, there was in the beginning, because I kind of like Jeremiah kind of hinted that he didn't like it. So then, like, we ended the podcast and I started watching it. I watched an hour and 40 minutes, 50 minutes, and I had to turn it off because I was so bored I was falling asleep. So I was like, all right, I need to pause this. I need to go to bed. I'll come back to it and finish it with an open mind. But the beginning, I liked it. I liked like the whole her on the farm working, like the farmers and the bad guys come. I'm not a huge fan of like the choices for like the bad guys' outfits. Like
the Nazi outfits.
Well, the Nazi outfits were cool, like the bosses, and then those like weird
Oh yeah,
creatures.
they were
Then,
like
the soldiers looked like they had rocks on them,
I don't know. It looks like
shells or something.
it looked
It
like it
felt
was like
Halo-y.
kind of, but like there was like ancient, well not ancient. I don't know if that's considered the right word, but like medieval like knights. Like some of them that were like super like fancy had that big bulky textured like
Mhm.
knight armor, and it kind of was like that mixed with like other like armor things from like the sci-fi movies and like big bulky and
And the guns were weird.
I
Like,
like the guns though.
really? I thought they
I
were
like
too
the
big.
blasters. They were big, but I like the blaster shots. I thought they
Well, I
looked.
like the shots. The
I thought they
thing,
looked cool.
and I forgot this was a Zack Snyder's like thing.
It's a
The slow
slow-mo.
motion, bro. That's gotta go, bro. Like it was so distracting. It's so like
Some of it can be if you do slow mo, you gotta do it well.
and not a lot.
Not a lot. It was
Dude. The worst part was when she was fighting that one fat blob character in the bar, and she was boxing him slow motion for no reason. I'm like, why are we doing this right now? That's when I started being like, okay, I'm starting not to like this. Like, it was just like why? It's just a punch. Just punch it. Like, why are we doing this? Like, it's not like super crazy. Like, we're not shooting things. Like I get some of it. Like, some of it was cool and entertaining, and then it just came to the point where it was just like, dude, this is way too much slow motion, way too much distracting. It became a. It was to the point where it took you out of the film, and you're just like, why are we doing this so much?
yeah.
And I know they do that in a lot in 300. But I think when 300 came out, it was a fresh take. So it didn't feel like that at the time. But now I think it's just way too much. Like when you're doing slow motion, there's bullets flying past you and it's like spraying, you know? Like I like the lasers from the guns because they sprayed really cool. And it was a cool concept. But then like it was just too much slow motion for parts that didn't need to be slow motion.
Right.
And
Because like he does the slow motion in Wonder Woman, and like when he does that, it's always like a good timing. It's always for a good sequence, and it feels good. And
maybe I
it's
need to
something you
give
can.
Wonder Woman a shot.
You gotta give Wonder Woman a shot. Have you
Everyone says
watched
that's
Man of
really
Steel?
good.
Have you watched Man of Steel?
No, I don't. I don't
What's
have
wrong
a
with that?
desire. Well, because I watched Batman versus Superman, and I was like,
Oh
the
gosh,
worst movie I've ever seen in my life. This might be like
okay, but I didn't even know that he did Man of Steel until like a couple weeks ago.
okay,
Because it's not like I don't even think there's any
there's got to be slow motion, bro.
like I don't remember there being any slow motion. So it's like if there is, it's not a lot. And
Dude,
it's the music is amazing, and it's just like
The
I
music
think
was cool in this one though. I liked like some of
I
the
don't even
themes.
I don't even remember any of the music.
Oh, really? Did you
Yeah.
think the slow motion was a little much in this one?
Yeah, there was a lot of slow motion. Like some of it was cool and like was like a good use, but
Mhm.
other time like I just remember like sitting. I'm like again, like
Yeah.
we're doing this again.
Yeah, I was arguing with my brother because, of course, he loved it. He loves every freaking
What
movie.
Jess or
No,
Nate?
Nate. He loves every movie, and his opinions are awful. But so he was like, "Dude, it was amazing." I'm like, "Bro, the slow motion." He's like, "If you complain about the slow motion, that's like complaining about some other director and something he does." I'm like, "No, there's a time
Yeah,
and a place. Like that's not it, just because he's known for doing it doesn't make it good."
right.
Like, just because this guy's known for making noodles doesn't mean the noodles are good that he just made me. Like, that's not how that
Right.
works. Like,
Yeah.
no, like, you gotta know when to do it. Like, if he did it, like in 300, I remember there's a lot of slow motion, but it's always really well placed where like the guy slammed his shield down and then there's like arrows shooting out of it and it's slow motion because the guy's barely getting hit. Like, those are cool scenes. But in hand-to-hand combat in a bar, and the guy she's facing is 400 pounds, and he's walking in slow motion. We don't need to see a different version
Oh
of that.
gosh.
Like, I don't understand. So, like, but her character was pretty well developed. But then my thing was the guys that they went to go get to help,
Yeah, no one cares. Like,
no one even, you don't even know what they do.
and I'm like, I don't even like. I'm like watching this. I'm like, why are we going to this person? Like, how did we get
How did
here?
we get here?
Like, it just so like obviously if I go watch it again, like I could okay, they said this, but it's just like they just go there just because there's a guy there that they want to recruit.
Yeah.
Like there's no like story to going to that person. So it's like I feel like this movie would be way better if it was a TV series. Because
Well,
then
and
they could flesh out everything better. They could build the world. They could build the characters. You could get attached to the characters, but you don't do that. Like
like they talk about that one guy who he sold stuff to, the farmer guy sold
yeah,
extra rations to this other group of bad guys and or good guys, I guess technically good guys because they're going against the bad guys, right? So you kind of know his character, but then when they get to him, it's like a brief 10-minute dialogue. And then all of a sudden he feels guilty and so he joins them. And then like that's it. You don't have a background how this group became the group really. Nothing like that. And then the three other like elite fighters that are wanted by these bad guys, like that's all you know that there are for three fighters that were wanted from these guys. Like you don't, they kind of hint it, and then the next trailer tells you that that one general that they got was apparently an amazing general and really well known, and they're wanted, and now they're scared because that general is working. But you don't get any of that in this part.
like it's the thing is about that the General Titus, I think his name was,
Yeah, I
or
think so.
but like one I kind of like that actor.
No, I
Like
think he's amazing. I
I
think
think
he's
he's a
a
cool
really good
guy. Like
actor.
every time I see him, like oh okay, he's in this. Like cool,
Yeah, I don't have anything against him as an
but
actor.
like they're like talking him up, like being like this amazing whatever, and then like we get to him and he's super depressed. Like, okay, fine. Like that could
Yeah.
be a real life thing, like where he surrendered and failed. He felt like he failed, and he's depressed, and he's like fighting in arenas to like dull the pain or whatever. Blah blah blah. And like he doesn't want to join, and then she's just like, "But what if you want to do this for revenge or whatever?" And then he stands up and he's like perfectly good to go. Like what?
Yeah, like the writing was bad.
And so I don't know.
I don't know.
I
For
guess
me, like I wanted just her story and her dad's story. They should have just made the movie about her and her dad's relation. Like, let's get the story about how her whole family was murdered,
yeah.
and this guy kidnapped her and brainwashed her and made her like. I want that story. Can we
Yeah,
get that
like
story as a
that's a
story?
cool story and
Like, I'll just take that movie. I don't want this farm movie because all this movie is this Magnificent Seven or Seven Samurais again. That's all this is. And especially the next trailer. Let's all grab our ammo from this farm and save
which
this
is
farm. Like,
like I think the next one's gonna be fun just because it's it's just gonna be like a battle scene. Like they're gonna be training, and they're just gonna do
But
battle.
it's been done.
But
That's
Star
my
Wars
thing.
has done it multiple times.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
But you
I'm numb
still
with it.
enjoy it though.
Yes,
like
but
like one of our favorite episodes of The Mandalorian is season
episode
1,
5
episode 4 with
or
the
4.
village,
I understand
and
that,
that's a great episode.
but I don't
And we
wanna see it again.
right,
Like, that's literally what it is. Like, that's what it's gonna be, is it's Magnificent 7 or 7 Samurais or episode 4 from Mandal season 1. Like, that's what this is. That's literally what the next movie is gonna be.
right, and I think it will. I think it will be because it's going to be focused on that. Like I think it's going to be more enjoyable because it's going to be a very concise story. Like we know, like they're not going to be going all over the place and like going more planets and getting more people. Like they're preparing them for battle, and then we're going to see the battle, and I think that's going to be fun.
And spoilers, another reason why I didn't like this. My favorite actor in the show died. He was a bad guy. They killed him off.
Which guy?
The guy that flies that betrays him, who
Oh,
pays.
is he from the Vikings?
No, he's from
What show is
Sons of
he?
Anarchy.
Oh, yeah, that one.
It's Jack from Sons of Anarchy. He's such a good actor,
I
and his
that
his
guy.
character.
The whole time I was like, "This is Han Solo." Like
Oh, I loved him so much.
they met him in the cantina. They
Well,
want to
yes,
make a deal with
I
him.
mean, and I'm okay with those concepts because that's kind of what this is. Like, this is like his version of a Star Wars film, you know.
Kind
And
of,
like,
yeah.
yeah, you're right. Like the Magnificent Seven part, like that's literally Star Wars did it too, so he can do it. Like it's fine. But like for me, like those other main characters are finger quotes the ones that they went to go get. We didn't know anything about them really at all throughout
Yeah.
this. And so that's like what really bothered me was like I don't know why I'm supposed to care about this girl that has cool sword slash lightsabers. Like,
Oh, that's fighting that spider.
yeah, like she's cool. It's dope.
Did you recognize who that actress was for the spider chick?
Uh-uh.
She's the actress that plays Johanna from the Hunger Games.
Oh. Did you watch the new Hunger Games yet?
Not yet, no. I was gonna go see it, and I got busy with work, and I'm like, I'll just wait to watch it on streaming.
I thought you were gonna do a review with Lucy on it. Weren't you?
Oh, with Retta, if she wanted to.
Retta.
I don't think she ever did it,
Oh, God, no. So there's still time.
but I'll watch it eventually. But
I haven't heard anything about it. Like,
I think someone in the Discord posted that they thought was a pretty good adaptation of the book,
mm-hmm.
and
It
they
looked
liked it.
cool.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes when I see it eventually.
I mean, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the other ones, even though like
I
they
like
had
the all the
mixed
other Hunger
reviews
Game
on them.
movies. Like I rewatched them last month.
Yeah, I should do that. Where was it on? What is it on? Max?
I think it might be a multiple. I think I watched it on Peacock.
Oh, okay.
But I think it was on multiple things, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching those.
And I own them on Blu-ray too, so because I bought them back in the day when they came out.
When people bought things.
Yep. But yeah, also I'm kind of mad. Well, okay, let's go over the story of like what's actually going on. This kind of overall view. So the Mother World is this
Empire.
the Empire. Basically, there's the people from one planet that ended up venturing out into the galaxy, and they're just taking over the galaxy, basically. And then, but what? So then that they're just going from planet to planet, whatever. They're getting resources. They're just taking over planets, killing people, taking over whatever. Just like the Empire. And so this main character, Cora, we find out that she worked for them, like was not worked for them, but like was like a higher up, like elite soldier trained by them because they came and they killed her family and then like this head military guy takes her as a child and trains her up, and she becomes this elite fighter. And um, I don't even remember, why did she leave.
I don't think they ever said.
They said something.
Did they really?
I don't know.
I
I
feel
have
like
I have Wikipedia up just for like.
I feel like she left because she got tired of. She realized that she was brainwashed after her lover died. I don't know. It wasn't
Well, it
rememberable.
was okay. No, it had to do with the princess. So, like the princess of the king, the daughter of the king and queen,
Oh, that's right.
like she was prophesied or something to like bring peace or something,
Mm-hmm.
and like Cora, she was like she worked her way up the ranks and she was promoted to be a guard, like to protect Issa. Is the princess's name, Issa? Um, but I don't know. I'm super confused. But like somehow, like because Issa has these superpowers. She can bring things back to life. Like she brought like a bird back to life,
Yep.
and she witnessed this. She missed multiple times. Um, I was reading on here, but like the king and queen, like the royal family, they get assassinated, and this new guy Belisarius, like he becomes the ruler. He kind of declares himself the ruler or whatever. I think that's why she left, because the the daughter was killed or something. But like it's implied that maybe she didn't die or something, and she's still alive out there somewhere. I don't know. I'm kind of confused. Like when you're not emotionally invested in a movie, it's hard to pay attention to the details.
Bro, like I was telling you, I was falling asleep.
So like that's an interesting story. Like this girl, like she's like her.
Every story outside of the story we got, all the side stories were more interesting than the real story.
Yeah. So like um so this girl has powers, and so she's like supposed to like bring peace to the galaxy. Like her family history
Mhm.
is war and destruction, and she ushers in peace, or is prophesied to bring in peace. Um, because I think part of the story was explained by that robot guy at the beginning,
Oh yeah.
which
Also, cool character that we didn't really.
we're gonna get a lot of him next episode
Yeah,
though, or next movie, just because they're implying that he's this fighter. Because like he's only supposed to protect the royal family. So like if there's no royal family to protect, he's no longer a fighter. So like that's why he's so passive.
but he does fight. Does that mean that girl's part of the royal family? Does that mean that girl?
He didn't fight.
Yeah, he fought. He killed.
He he picked up a gun, but he didn't
He
shoot
shot.
anyone. No, he didn't.
Didn't he? Yeah, he was the one that sniped that guy in the head.
No, that was Cora, or the other. It's Cora or the other soldier that didn't want to fight. Like it wasn't the robot.
Oh, I thought it was a robot the whole time because his gun was
No,
smoking at the end. I'm gonna pull it up.
no,
I was 100% sure he did it.
no, because like it was like he didn't do it. Like he picked up the gun like he wanted to, but his programming wouldn't let him to actually do it. Um, but anyway, I think that if the princess is still alive, that's going to cause him to fight, and I'm excited to see that because he seems like it's super cool. Um,
Dude, it's not even the top 10 movies anymore.
oh, no, it's not on
No.
Netflix. um, but yeah, I think he's cool. It's cool that it's voiced by
Who's it
what's his
voiced by?
face? Um, Anthony Hopkins.
Oh.
So like he's the opening narrator for the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's him. So it's like I think it's just a cool voice because he sounds kind of like a medieval person, just the way he talks. And so
Yeah.
like having that kind of like that medieval robot
Oh, he did it
protector.
100%. I just watched it. He did it.
Okay,
Should I show you on like this scene?
I don't know. Let me see.
He picks it up. He looks at her.
Yeah,
We might get flagged for this. I don't know.
we're not gonna get flagged for this. It's
See, he shot. He shot him right
uh,
in the head.
I don't know. I have to go. I thought it was like the other guy or something. Like someone else like took the
No, he looks, and then
the
yeah,
robot
it
was
literally
distracting, and then she
it
took the
comes
shot.
out of his gun.
No, well, then
Which,
that makes me even more mad because then it's like,
well, but does it? Think about this theory, which I think would be really cool, is because if that princess is missing, what if that girl, that blonde girl, is actually the princess the
no,
whole time?
no, because we see the princess in the flashback when she
But
heals the
she's
bird.
younger.
Yeah, but she's lived in this town forever, dude.
How do we know that? We don't know anything about anything in this show.
Because this Cora girl is the only one that hasn't been like,
Do we know
because she
that?
got introduced and she got adopted into this community, and like they're like
I
the last
thought,
thing you got to do to be a full member is to get married, and
well, not even get married, just breed with someone.
that was still marriage was implied because that's what there was a wedding, right? The beginning of the movie, or
They're
they're talking
celebrating because
about
the
it.
harvest was done.
Oh, but weren't there like wasn't there like a couple that was getting married or something? Like they're engaged or something, and they were gonna get married, and then like
No,
they
they're
had,
celebrating because the harvest was done, and then the guy told them to all find a couple and to
yeah.
harvest in the harvest. If you're watching this, there's a lot of you viewers that are viewers of Empire Radio that probably should not watch this movie.
It is only PG-13, but they are gonna he is gonna release a director's
Harvest.
cut that's R-rated.
It was barely PG-13.
I don't know. There was that scene that you just showed me, like that, like what led up to that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
I was so mad at that. Like when that scene
oh,
was happening, I was
oh yeah,
furious and disgusted,
yeah,
and I was
yeah,
happy when Cora came up and killed
yeah.
everybody.
Like, but this part of the movie, that first part in the movie, I was so invested in. I liked it.
Right.
I was like, what is Jeremiah talking about? And then it just drops. Like you're on a roller coaster, you're going up to the very top, you're waiting for this sweet drop, instead it just stalls out. It doesn't drop. It just
Yeah.
stalls.
So anyway, back to the story. Like, like so the mother with the mother world, they come to this planet that she's on, Cora's on, and
Not Coruscant. Cora is on.
Cora
The way
is
you said
on,
it sounded like Coruscant. I was like, what? No, 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 no.
and so they go there wanting like food, like because they're a harvest farming planet,
Yeah.
and the planet is this rich with the ability to do farming and all that stuff, blah blah blah, and so they come and they're like, well, we want you to do another harvest, like we want like we're gonna come and we're gonna take your resources, blah blah blah. Well, that crap goes down. They kill the leader, the
The
head
leader
father
doesn't
guy.
like Cora
The-
talks the leader into not working with them because they know that she isn't from there and that she's escaped them in the past. She convinces him not to. He tries to tell the leader like, "Hey, like we only have enough for our people." And then they talk to the farmer, and then the farmer pretty much throws the leader under the bus because he just wants to make money off of them. And then the bad guy leader kills him and then kills his wife in front of all of them. It's a pretty dramatic scene, honestly. It was well done.
yeah, and then so it's like, well, you have how long is it going to take to grow another more crops or whatever, and whatever? And it's like 9 weeks. Well, we'll be back in 10 weeks. And so then Cora's like, I'm out. I'm leaving.
Well, they left guys
But
there too.
huh? Oh,
They
they
left
did. They
guys.
left some of the guards there, But then Cora kills all the guys and is like, I'm out. I'm leaving because we're screwed. Like, there's no way we can win.
You can't work with these people, essentially. They're
But
all going to make
like,
you
especially after
slaves
you
and take
killed their
over.
whole entire
Well,
team.
especially now, yeah. You got to.
But like, but I was kind of confused. So like, she wanted to run,
She wanted to run first
but then why did she want to like start recruiting people? Because the farmer want
because
or
the farm, because after she killed all those people, she knew that the whole farm was going to die. And she can't run anymore because she already killed everyone. So she was going to leave because she does that and she doesn't want, like, at this time in the story, we don't know her character. We just think she's running from these people. We don't realize that she's like the most wanted person in the galaxy.
right.
But so she's trying to leave, and then this scene happens where the guards grab this girl farmer who's been helping them all day with giving water, and they're all gonna assault her and do inappropriate things to her. So she hears this girl crying, and that was the scene I showed. She ends up fighting them all, and it gets to the point where it's 1-on-1, and that girl's gonna die. Well, they have these robot. They had this one robot guy that was Jeremiah was saying was a guard of the royal family. And so they don't even use them anymore, but for some reason they had him and they're gonna use him for some reason. Like just labor. He was just gonna lift stuff and
Right. It's free labor, but like they're trained to be like these elite like bodyguards for the royal family. But if the family's no longer there, then their programming is like, well, I don't have to fight anymore. So like,
so like this one bad guy shoots this robot because he's just a jerk. And he doesn't break or anything. And he goes to wash himself up. It's kind of weird concept for a robot to go in water and wash himself, but he did. And that water girl, the other farmer, gives him a crown of flowers to
right,
wear. So she like helps this robot out, and so then in that scene he shows up and he ends up shooting that guy that's about to hurt her because I don't know, just because she helped him, I guess. I don't know.
but it still doesn't make sense with like the programming though. So like,
Well, that's why I think maybe there's something that we don't know yet.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. But either way, so that happened. So yeah, because she killed them all, there's no running anymore. So she decides to help because they need help now. Because they're gonna come back for these rations and stuff and find all their guys dead. So then her and the farmer goes to this bigger village to try to find the other group. The whole point of this was to find the other group that he sold rations to last harvest because
They're
they are against
right. He sold their excess to the blood hawks, blood axe,
Blood Axe,
blood axe in his like
which are rebels to this.
yeah, they're basically like the rebels. Like they've
Yeah,
been known by the mother world for fighting against them and
causing issues,
being freedom
Cactus
fighters and
like
stuff.
attacking them, and
But they're hard to track and track down. So, but
so he has connections.
yeah,
So
so
he's
Cora wants to find General Titus, but also Blood Axe, and then these other random people that they come by, like
yeah, I
the
don't
guy that
understand that part.
the metal worker that like controls the bird cat thing, whatever it is.
Yeah, because that guy that they find, he was enslaved somehow to this metal worker guy or whatever, and he has a bird, and they say, "Hey, like
If you can tame the bird, you
if
can go
you can have
free.
him, if not, then you guys are all being my slaves." And so he's like, "I can do it." So he tames the bird. They all get out, and then the bird ends up killing that metal guy because it wasn't actually tamed.
I don't know. It was just weird.
This is a weird
But
concept.
so
I
they
don't know.
find that guy.
Like Jeremiah said, that could have been one episode itself, and it would have made more sense.
Yeah, and then they find this lady that's good with swords and like martial arts, and she's fighting this giant spider lady. And
Cool
like, okay,
scene,
okay,
but
like
we don't
I
really.
was like, is
Apparently,
this
she's like a bounty hunter, like not a bounty hunter, but she's like killed a bunch of the bad guys already
maybe? I don't know.
before. Well, they
I was
said that
just
when they were all captured, he said that, "Oh, you're this person who did this bad thing," and I don't know. He kind of told us who these characters were after the band was already all together. We didn't really get a lot of information, and then the bad guy comes and kind of does a brief 3-line sentence to all these guys as they're captured and in cuffs essentially by this giant cuff machine.
oh
And
yeah,
he
that
he
thing.
tells us who all these people are and what they've done to the
Yeah,
and yeah.
but I don't know. And so like
So the guy that ends up helping them fly around to all these different planets to get these people,
because they
he
find
ends
the
up
Blood Axe rebellion, like they find that group.
yes. They
That was like
find
the
the group.
last group that they find, because like the planet that's where they're hiding on, like the king of that planet is like giving them aid because that's just what their culture does. Like they give help to people, but they're
Yeah.
supposed to be in line with the mother world. And so then because there's that like betrayal, like the mother world comes and kills the king,
Mhm.
which I don't know. I like that alien species, that guy, that king guy.
Yeah.
Like I thought he looked kind of cool, but he got hit across the head with that stick by that
Oh,
the
yeah,
guy.
apparently this guy just carries around a staff and just beat people's heads in
One
with
hit,
it.
one hit kills on like everyone. Um, but like they go, so everyone's together and they go to this like planet or this place like where they get
Station?
betrayed. But like, where do they go there for again?
No clue. I don't
Um,
remember why they're there. But they're all gonna head out to, like, the main farm, essentially.
yeah. So he betrays them, just turns them
Like
in.
yeah, apparently the whole time that guy was getting all these people up, and then he ends up calling them with an orc. The guy was straight up an orc from Lord of the Rings,
Yeah, there
a
was some
Belrock,
like
to be
orc
exact.
slash like Weequay looking guys.
Yeah.
Um,
He
and
literally
so
looked like a Belrock. Like, the guy's like, "Hey, can I borrow this outfit?" "Sure," and then he puts it on and then calls it a different alien species. Anyway, so he betrays them. Coolest love the actor. The actor is amazing. He did a really good job in this show too. I really liked him. He betrays them, and the farmer
there's
saves that thing. Oh,
because like they're gonna force the farmer to kill. Was it the first one, Cora?
yeah,
That he
or
was supposed to kill?
paralyze her.
No,
I
it was
said paralyze, but I think
no,
it's a
it's a
kill.
no, it's a kill.
It's like a giant spike that they stab in the back of their neck and then twist it and they die.
Right, but then like he turns it the opposite way and it releases her, and then like how does this farmer know how to use this machine?
I, I don't know,
I don't
bro.
know. So everyone gets released and they just start fighting,
Well, yeah,
and
he does that, and then he grabs the guy that betrays him and then shoots him in the head with this spike.
yeah,
But we don't really see it. But maybe the R-rated version, we will see the.
maybe. And
I'll probably watch
so
the R-rated version.
maybe because it's supposed to come out before the second movie, and the second movie comes out in April. So the next couple months is probably going to come out. But yeah, so they're the mother world people are fighting these rebellion people, and like this. So like what was the name of the ship? A dreadnought? Is that what they called it?
Yeah,
So this is supposed to be like the most powerful like ship in the thing galaxy. But General Titus, was it General Titus? No, it was the Blood Axe guy, right?
yeah.
He like whatever the ship's like shooting at people, blah blah blah, and like he jumps and like, but with like his spear, he's or stick or whatever, he's able to go through the glass and kill this like.
He like runs and spears to the grass in slow motion, by the way.
But like
And
this
that's
glass,
cool.
why is it so easy for this?
I don't know,
glass to
bro.
break, dude. Like you like
And
a
he
pipe,
missed the guy, and the guy in the chair shoots him twice in the chest, and then he ends up stabbing him,
and
and
then
then he
he
dies, and then he
pulls
pushes a
the,
lever.
and then it crashes. But I'm like,
Yeah.
that's it. That ship's supposed to be like the most intimidating thing in the galaxy, and then like it's just a stick goes through the windshield and it
Yeah.
kills. Was
Well,
able to
my
kill the
favorite
guy.
thing
Like,
was, like, my brother's like, "Oh, I love that guy. It was so cool." I'm like, "Dude, we got him for 10 minutes. How do you love a character in 10 minutes?" Like, yeah, he looks cool, but we literally got him for 10 minutes. Like, we know nothing about his character or anything really, except he was one of the leaders of the rebels. Like, I had no attachment to this character, and when he died, I was just like, "Okay." Like, it felt way too rushed, maybe. Like these characters that we're supposed to get tied to, and like they're supposed to be these amazing warriors and all this stuff, and like you know about them for like 10 minutes, and it's just like it doesn't give you enough, it doesn't build a story enough. But then like these stories that we're actually getting, that there's more details, like the princess, or like Korra's like whole life story, like that is way more interesting than the actual movie we got. Like way
right,
more interesting. Like
right,
I want to see her go up in rank, and like with these like Nazis guys, and like they like kind of want you to fall in love with other soldiers, and then her partner that she was like married to or whatever like died, and like they show that, and like I don't know, it just seemed like such a cool story, but we didn't get really it. We didn't get it.
right.
Like her dad, finger quotes, like seemed such like an evil person. And I was like, dude, I want to like. Apparently, he's still alive in like this world between worlds kind of
Yeah,
situation.
I didn't get that either.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. So she ends up killing this main bad guy, falls off a cliff. So he's taking a piece of Star Wars, and if you fall off a cliff, you never die.
Yeah, that was
So that happened.
that was the worst part of the whole movie. That the main villain in this movie like gets killed in quotation marks at the end, and then they just bring him back to life or save him,
In a cool
or
way. Like it's a cool like
I
it
don't even
looks
remember
sweet.
what they
It was like a
put
bunch of like, oh no,
a bunch of tubes and stuff into it, and like I
what's
don't
it
even know.
called? What's that thing that Elon's doing? Cyberlink or whatever?
I have no idea.
It's like Elon is creating this thing. It's called Cyberlink. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Comment down below if I'm saying it wrong. And his whole thing is like he's putting things in people's brains that are like paralyzed and hoping that they won't be or whatever.
Okay,
And it's called Cyberlink. And literally they say, "Oh, we got to put him in Cyberlink," and they flip open his head and they plug something into his head. And I'm like, "Are you guys?" He's like making fun of Elon, like on purpose. Like I was like, "Dude, that has to be on purpose." It was like too on the nose for it not to be purpose. So, anyways, they just plug him in, kind of like Vader, and like a back tank thing, kind of thing. And
something
then
I
he
don't know.
goes into like this world between worlds, and then he
It's
meets
like
like
um the
Bubble.
ancestral plane from
Yeah,
Black Panther movies.
yeah. It was this weird thing, and he goes, and then he meets her adopted dad, and he's like, "You need to bring her back alive so I can kill her." So I was like, "Is he dead or is he alive?"
I don't know.
I don't know. It's kind
Unless
of weird.
he's able to like
Come out of
communicate
it.
with people that are almost dead, kind of like a near death experience where he's able to like commune with people.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
weird. It's like a weird thing. But it seemed cool, like, the technology, like, it looked cool. It just was kinda weird. So then he's not dead
Yep,
because no
he's
one
alive.
falls to their death ever. Even though he got beat over the head with the same stick and all his teeth came out.
Yeah,
But then when he got shocked, he had all his teeth again. I was like, "Okay, that bothered me." You literally slow motion, his teeth are rolling on this platform, and then he gets shocked back to life, and he's like he's like squeezing his teeth, and he had all his teeth again. I'm like, you should have done it, and he had like, no, his face would have been
I don't know.
crooked. Like I don't know. Well, he's not dead. And then what else happened?
They
They
go
made it back
back
to
to
the
the
farm,
farm thinking that everything's good to go. We defeated the bad guys. They're not coming back.
but they still have to come back because it's like defeating an empire. You just killed one boss. Like that's not how that works.
Yeah. So
But they just don't have a army behind them anymore because they all died.
well, that's that one dreadnought, but it's still the mother world is
No,
taking over the
the
whole
mother
galaxy.
world's there. I'm saying they don't have those rebels because, like, when
Oh,
they
the
grabbed the rebel guy, they had a little fleet of
oh
army,
yeah, it's like a small
a
So there's
small
some
fleet, and
ships like
all of them
starships.
died.
Yeah,
They all died. Like they're jumping on the ships to get going them, and then they start blowing them up, and the girl was jumping off of them.
yeah.
I don't know. Those ships seem interesting, kind of cool.
Those rebel ships. They kind of remind me of those skitter things from episode 8.
Yeah,
Battle Crate, kind of like
bulky.
little like tiny little things, but I don't know. So that's the movie. They think they're living happily ever after, but the bad guy is coming back to life, gonna come back. And in the trailer, like he's like returns, hey, I'm back, and she's like, like, how are you still alive? And then it's just them fighting, like,
Yeah, like the General Titus. He tells everyone to grab all their armor, and then they start training them, all the farmers. It's pretty much literally just Magnificent Seven at this point in the show, in like the next movie. I don't know. Like I
so
said, I'll watch it. If you guys comment down below if you guys want us to review the next one, maybe it'll make more sense because we'll have more connection to these characters.
hopefully. And it
I
should
don't-
be noted that, so I was reading up on it. This is supposed to be a total of 4 movies.
Oh Lord. Okay.
So
So let us know.
first 2 movies are done. So they're just final touches in the next couple of months on the second movie. They say the third movie is in production. I don't know if that's
Did
probably
he just like get them all proved right away?
I don't know.
Because
Unless Netflix, they're
it has a
notorious
really
for
bad. It's
canceling
not
stuff.
doing too good. Just so you guys know, on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. So
I don't.
we're at least gonna get 2
What's
total movies.
what's the
But
ranking right now of it
for what?
for this movie?
For tomatoes?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Not that good. Well, on Wikipedia it says 24%
On Rotten Tomatoes.
with an average rating of 4.2 out of 10. Like most movies and shows get like 7s.
Yeah, it's 24%, and then the fan review is 61%. So it's
I still feel like that's 61% of people think have
that's pretty
positive
good.
reviews.
What's The Last Jedi?
I have no idea. But so I don't know if we're gonna get that third movie or not, because if this second movie fails too, Netflix
Ooh.
could just cancel it.
You know what's crazy is Rotten Tomatoes score for Last Jedi
It's
is
pretty high, isn't it?
91%,
Yeah.
but then like the fan reviews for Last Jedi is 42%.
Yeah. But all these
For me, it went up a little bit.
all these on Wikipedia, just the critical response thing, like everything is like 1 out of 5, 1 out of 4.
What do they
Terrible.
say?
They just say it's just terrible. Like, yeah, it's just terrible. So
Yeah, they didn't execute the main story well, but the little stories that we got seemed more interesting and more execute, and you know more about them than you actually do these characters that they found.
right.
And like if this was like this is part 1 of 4, you said?
Right. Because this
Like
is Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, which is Korra the child of
I
fire
think
who,
so because her whole planet was destroyed.
or maybe, or just fire is just kind of like you're ro- raised in a bad
Environment.
fire type. I don't know. So even the title doesn't make sense.
I don't know. It doesn't really explain the title.
But yeah, that's a movie. I definitely give it a 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5, or sorry, a 4 out of 10,
5.
3 out of 10. Like it,
Yeah, mine's
some of
probably
it
like
was really good, but most of it was not that great.
the first 40 minutes were good.
Yeah.
So I'll probably give that in total for this part 3.5 out of 10.
All right. Cool.
Like
Well,
I'm gonna watch part 2.
yeah, I will too.
If you guys want to watch, if you guys want us to do a review and keep going, and maybe we'll like part 2, and it's gonna make part 1 even better.
Hopefully.
Hopefully that's the case. The art seemed cool. There's a lot of cool concepts in this movie. It just wasn't executed that well, and the slow motion needs to stop. It needs to slow down or speed up. I don't know.
You should download the movie and you should do a fan edit where you, every time there's a slow mo, you
Just
ramp up
make
the
it run.
speed and just get
Well,
rid of
because
that.
when I complained about that, my brother was like, "Dude," because I told him I was like, "I like that. This made me like the Last Jedi more," and he was like, "Dude, but at least in this movie they don't have guys standing in the background." I'm like, how would we know? Every fight scene is freaking slow motion. There could be a guy standing there. He's
Yeah.
just gonna be like, what do you mean? We
There are
don't
people
know.
in that cantina was watching everything go down.
Yeah, like because he was saying like in the fight scene.
Oh, did you like that little creature that had the
I thought that was a
tentacles?
cool concept. It's kind of scary. Like he like
It was
killed a
like
guy and was like communicating through a dead body.
it was kind of like in you've seen Independence Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the aliens they can do that where they
Yeah,
like I Independence Day. That is a good movie. That's one of my
yeah. Have you ever seen Titan AE?
no.
It's like an animation. It was like one of like it's kind of it's one of those movies that like people said when it first came out was like the closest thing to Star Wars because believe it came out. I don't know what year it came out. What year did that come out?
I don't know. I remember hearing about it, but I don't know anything about it. But anyway,
Anyways, you should watch it and maybe we can do a review on it. Came out in 2002 or 2000. So I think it was like before episode 1 came out. And people said it's like the closest thing to Star Wars we have so far.
oh,
And
interesting.
there's a lot of good actors in it. Like Matt Damon's in it. Drew Barrymore's in it. And it's I loved it as a kid. I'll have to rewatch it to see if I still like it. But as a kid, I loved this movie. I had it on VHS. And I thought it was such a good movie. I watched it
Fun.
all the time. So if you guys like more stuff like this and you guys want us to do other movies that aren't Star Wars that kind of have the same feel to them, let us know.
Yeah.
We kind of like doing these like YouTube exclusive stuff sometimes. So let us know if you guys want more of this YouTube stuff. But before we head out, make sure you guys subscribe over here if you guys are new, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it, and comment down below your thoughts because that's the only way you're going to be able to comment with us right now. So.
Yeah. And so if this is your first time listening to us, watching us, you just discovered us, we usually just only do Star Wars stuff. And so this is why we're doing a YouTube exclusive, just to get some of our fans to go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe and stuff. But we did it is somewhat of a connection to Star Wars. So that's why we wanted to do it. But if you want to get connected to Empire Radio, like, and just jump into us, like, we got all kinds of stuff. So like here on YouTube, we post all of our podcast episodes. But we also do like trailer reactions, and Drew does like toy stuff, like toy unboxings and toy hunts and stuff like that. And so we try and post podcast episodes every week. and sometimes they're like hour and a half, sometimes they're 3-4 hours long, but we have a wide range of stuff, all kinds of content. Go check out everything. But if you want to follow us like on Instagram and all that stuff, so there's a link in the description, links.co/Empire Radio, link spelled with 2 I's. It's a landing page for everything. So follow us on Instagram, Twitch. We do live streams on Twitch for all of our podcast episodes, so go follow us on Twitch, Facebook. If you want to join our Discord, there's an invite for that. There is a email if you ever want to email us, fan email, and we also do voicemails every episode for podcasts. So if you want us like send in a voicemail to us, and we can, if it's family friendly, we'll play it on air on our podcast, and we'll answer your questions or discuss your comments or whatever. What else do we got? needlesslynerdy.com is an entertainment network that we're a part of. Go check that out if you're into all kinds of nerdy stuff. There's other podcasts and articles and stuff, so we're part of that network, so go check them out. But yeah, so thanks for watching. If you have never been on Empire Radio before, we got a lot to offer. We're small, but we're growing, and so we love to have you follow us. So follow us, and we'd love to hear from you in the voicemails, in the Discord, in the comments, on Spotify Q&As. Go check that out. But yeah, anything else, Drew?
No, nothing else. Stay tuned for Star Wars content.
Yep. All right, cool. Well, you've been listening to another YouTube-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.